Welcome to A Child Called Quest.
Where we use our favorite albums as judgment for food around the Charlotte metro area.
If you're new to the area or just passing through, or even if you are a native of the Charlotte area and looking for good food, great vibes, and the best bang for your buck, then follow us as we uncover the best of the best.
This is A Child Called Quest.
We hope that you will find our presentation precise.
All right, this episode of A Child Called Quest is going to be a lot different. Typically, we go to different restaurants and we try food and then we rate them based upon our favorite rap albums. A big piece of the show is speaking to hip hop, and one of the things that I've been into for about 20 years now is battle rap, from Smack DVD, URL, so forth and so on. I'm not gonna get into the history lesson today, but today was Nome 11. Big event in battle rap, big day for battle rap, and a lot of battles today. So I wanted to do a recap of the battles. A lot of people that I know who are not really into battle rap, I send them links and then they become big fans, because I mean, when it comes to lyricism, when it comes to writing rhymes, when it comes to entertaining, when it comes to people complaining about what's on the radio in the state of hip hop for the past 15 years, I was never really privy to those complaints because I was watching a lot of battle rap. So I was fortunate enough to get bar heavy. But anyway, we're gonna get into this event. Nome 11 started out with a battle. It was Mike P and Lou Castro. Going into this battle, I was rooting for Lou. I think Lou is very entertaining. I think that if he keeps getting battles like this, he will shine. But Mike P is not a person you could just walk through. So I knew it was going to be a uphill battle for Lou. I had Lou 3-0. I feel like they didn't necessarily have anything to say to each other, like not really personal, but Mike P went into the battle feeling like he should be getting a bigger name. So it was kind of like, I'm gonna show you that I could rap, but like, I'm not gonna go that crazy. Where Lou, this might be his biggest battle on URL name-wise, except for the 2-on-2 he did with Shine. But this is his biggest like single battle. So I felt like Lou went crazy. His first round, he had some joints. He had some bars like, I run down on you with the shotgun random, like, cause Shotgun Suge always yells out random in his battles. He had a gun scheme like, I got 140 and 1/9, like a single parent household. That was insane. First round was good. Mike P came in, nothing too crazy. I think he had a bar like, he had a so fresh, so clean, I'm outcast, like taking Castro, saying Cass. And I'm explaining some of this more than I should, because a lot of people might not be watching battle rap, so they, feel like they're not gonna get the references. So, but those who are consistently watching, of course, you guys, get the name flip. Name flips was crazy. Going into the second round, Lou had some joints. He had a charisma bar that was crazy. He had, I put your body expand in the water like white rice. That was crazy. He had a Snyder cut, like I give you the whole clip plus the Snyder cut, like that was insane. I F up your name like drunk smack. That was crazy. So second round, dope. Third round, Mike comes in. His whole thing is talking about how Lou Castro has weak setups and he's all performance. So that was a big piece because a lot of people feel like Lou's not really that lyrical. He had I get my gun from the white girl, call her Sarah McGlocky. That was crazy. My 9 to 5 is Mike P, talking about like he is who he is. He doesn't put on a persona for the battle rap community. So that was dope. Going into the third round, Lou Castro's energy was crazy. He had something like mom whooping, dad whooping, the ass whoopings hit different. Like that was a crazy joint. He did a stabby stab, but he said something like spike on the side, like at the garden. That was insane. I take a pizza Mike, that's an Italian slice. Crazy. He was talking to his mom. He had Mike P wave with his mom, and he was like, I put a black eye on P. Hey mama. That was crazy. Like he was cooking, but what's crazy is he had a bar about Danny Myers, which we'll get into later, but he was like, I take this serious, like I prep like Danny Myers. Mike comes back in, he has some vaccine shot bars. What I did not like about Mike P was he was rapping like Jack Boy Maine. Like Jack Boy Maine has that style of like 2 guns, big clip, da-da-da, boom, boom, da-da. And I don't know who's doing it first, so I'm gonna have to do the history on that. But every time I've seen Jack Boy Maine, like that's what he does. I've been seeing Mike P for about 4 years now, and so again, I had Lou Castro with the Gentleman's 30 for sure. So, all right, next battle of the night, Jay the Nightwing versus Av. Av 3-0. I didn't really have a winner going. Like I didn't pick anyone going into the battle. I just figured the best man would win, and Av was cooking. Jay was aggressive, came in bumping Av. Those are they look like big guys on camera. I've never seen these guys in person, so I don't know. He had a bar like, you've been rapping since head ice was head water. That was hilarious. But then he started stumbling crazy. So it was like, what are we doing? He had a lot of Cave Gang bars about him leaving Cave Gang. Then he started choking crazy. He had a bar about stomach cut like hydroxy. That was fire. Then he had, I let my bees do the job and they pollinate, because Av's real name is Nate, so pollinate, like that was fire. Av came in swinging, had a lock scheme that was crazy. We get it cracking from the jump like Drew Hill. Like Drew Hill's first single, when they came out, Tell Me, they were jumping in the video. That was fire. He did a whole mechanic advanced auto part scheme with different parts of the car and different I don't drive, so wherever y'all buy parts for your cars, like he did a whole scheme on that. The alternator, blah blah blah. He had a bar that had the room shaking. It was pulled next to the seat like a handicap shower. More fire. And then he did a sincere buns. He did like a belly scheme talking about like your girl like that I'm sincere, so she give me the buns because she liked the belly, something like that. That was crazy. Jay the Nightwing came back with a crazy freestyle rebuttal. He did a whole Aquaman sea scheme that was dope. He had a Play-Doh cave, because Av used to be Cave Gang, so he did a whole like Play-Doh with the shadow on the cave scheme that a lot of people looked like didn't pick that up. That was fire. Then Av comes back with I'ma F the night up like your girl don't have a sitter. that was fire. He had a aloha bar. He was like, don't raise your voice. Even if you say hi, it better be aloha. What? My city, I guess he was like playing off the fact that Jada Nightwing is Samoan, so he has people in Hawaii or whatever. And he said something like, because Ab is from Virginia, so he was like, my city was flooded with the fire rock too. Dumping out the van at night like big worm shooters. Like it was back to back punch on Ab, of course. Jay comes back with the Roadrunner setup. He had a bar like, I'm hot like Malcolm when the hot water turned off, or Malcolm when the water got cut off on burning shit, I think was the bar. Strapped on the other side of Av for nothing. He took a shot at John. Like, Jada Nightwing was cooking, but it was like, I don't remember too many, if any, stumbles with Av. Like, it was too much. Av was too much for Jay, and Jay was like choking and stumbling and not remembering his rhymes. So Av with the 3-0 for sure. So we're gonna get to the next. All right, third battle of the night, Danny Myers versus Real Sick. Real Sick 3-0. Fourth battle of the night, B-Dot versus DNA. I had B-Dot going into this. I felt like if both of them rapped their rounds out fully, and we were just judging based on no stumbles, no chokes, no nothing, B-Dot's is a very intricate rhymer. So I didn't feel like DNA would be able to do anything with B-Dot, to be honest. So I think DNA starts it out, and he does a elevator Willy Wonka bar that was just out of this world. Dot's the same on every stage, like Pac-Man, Room Rocker. Then he starts doing this Biggie scheme. He's like the fourth song on Biggie album. He's like making a reference to Warning and the dots on the head. But it wasn't popping at all. So whatever. B-Dot comes in and he's doing sun clips, slicing, like doing like a DNA like science lab scheme that I felt like that was hitting. Then he stumbled crazy, and I was like, oh, DNA got the first round, like clearly. But then he just picked it back up, and you forgot all about the stumble. Like, you completely forgot that he stumbled. He was just getting into how DNA is not really street, and he needs to start rapping about street life. And then he gets into DNA's album, and how it rains so much on his album that he was gonna call FEMA. That was insane. That was fire. So even with the stumble and not being biased, I gave that round to B-Dot, which of course I'm gonna go back and watch. But right now I got Dot. Second round starts out, and I'm reading my notes. That's why I'm looking this way, because like you trying to watch, observe, absorb, but at the same time like take like notes of what they're saying. And you know, rappers like DNA, B-Dot, Rum Nitty, you know, like these guys, it's impossible and it's live, so you can't pause it. So whatever, y'all know. DNA gets into, he says a bar like, putting dots in between friends, you putting on shows for white people. That was like some kind of sorcery, bro. Like how you came up with that was fire. And then like Friends just had their reunion, so it's definitely a current event bar, but Friends is trash. So anyway, that was the only line I got from DNA. The second round from DNA, I did not think that was crazy. I just have, my note is B-Dot went into outer space. So that's that. And then DNA oh wow, in the third round, I'm not hating on DNA because he has a lot of battles out. Like, anyway, he does a West Coast movie scheme with Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood, and how the same guy that took Trey's football from Boys in the Hood ended up playing Sharif in Menace to Society, and it didn't land. It took off, but it's up there. So I had B-Dot with the Gentleman's 30. It is what it is. Rex versus Easy to Block Captain. I think everyone was most excited for this battle. We ain't seen Rex in a minute, and when we did see Rex the last few times, it wasn't looking that crazy. Easy been cooking for a while, and that lane, we know the story, like the lane that Rex paved, Easy's been like holding the flag down. So battle pops off. Easy goes first. Easy's cooking. Philly's cooking. He said, "I got paid just to see if you rap." And that was probably my favorite line from that round, because Rex was coming with like 1 or 2 rounds prior to this return before this gap. So we didn't even know if Rex was gonna show up. And I felt that line crazy. He also had a haymaker at the end of his round. He was like, talk through my round. You might get a shot in your mouth, but you might like that. Hilarious. So Easy's cooking. Rex starts rapping. Rex comes in because he was friends with Tech, and he's doing this Tech flow. If y'all don't know who Tech is, like I'm not gonna really get into that too heavy, but it was a battle rapper that's no longer with us, and he's doing this Tech flow, whatever, and it's like a homage to him, and being that Easy is from Philly, I thought that was kind of fire. Rex starts cooking, and he starts cooking so much in that round that I went and put my Timbs on. And I felt like I was walking to the J train on Broadway, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's a cold February night in New York, and I need to put my Timbs on. It was crazy. Like Rex went so dumb in the first round. Like, it took me back to the Unkasa battle, the Conceited battle, the Math. Like, he was Rex. So I'm like, okay, cool. But is he gonna do this all 3 rounds, right? So, Easy goes. Easy's cooking second round. He's cooking. He stumbles. And when he stumbles, Rex does his infamous, like, if you watch the Math battle, anytime you seen Rex, like, especially in his prime, and his opponent slips up, like, he's like, yo, I got it in the bag. Because, like, back in his era, and when you rap in your bars, if you slip, choke, or do anything, that round's over. It don't matter how good you was, whatever, it's a dub. So he still comes from that mentality. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, like, I knew he was going to come with 2 more rounds, like, for sure. So, but Easy did say something that was insane. He said, gun on my hip, but my pockets got sage in it. And insanity. It was like, I felt that. I felt that. Rex goes, if Coke, what'd he say? If my Coke had a birthday candle, it'd say 35 each. And then when he said that, I was like, I'm gonna order chopped cheese. Like, we in New York right now. Like, right now, I'm not in New York. I'm in an undisclosed location, but I was in New York this whole battle. I was there. I was on the C train, J train. You could smell the piss in the elevator. You could smell the piss in the stairway. You could see the empty Henny bottles on a Sunday morning, and the bodega wrappers everywhere, and the Popeyes wrappers all over your building. The front of your building looked crazy because everybody just went to sleep. So I don't know. I'm not gonna call it right now. We'll get there. So second and third round, Easy clearly got the third. The first two rounds I gave to Rex. So I'm gonna say Rex 2-1, but of course when this comes out, you know, we're gonna watch it again. But that arguably battle of the night, arguably. That was the battle I was most excited for, and it lived up to its hype. It wasn't like, oh, Rex coming back, and then like Easy just cooks him. So yeah, that was the best back and forth battle. But yeah, LOL. Next battle of the night. So this was what the damn, my shit right. Let's just hope. All right. Next battle of the night. Geechee versus Rum. This is what the whole tournament was about for the 100,000. At this point, Drake comes out and everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest artist, arguably the biggest artist in the world, is at a rap battle event. A lot of people try to, you know, ignore battle rap or act like it's not important or that they can't keep up with it. And it's underground, but like not like, you know, Drake's there. So that was a really big deal. He's the one that put up the 100,000 for the tournament. He also pulls out an extra 50 racks and makes the stakes even higher at 150. But we all knew that it's Rum versus Geechee, so they are friends. They're obviously gonna split it. Like, so whatever. The question was more, are they gonna put on a show? Like, are they really gonna rap and go at each other? And at least make it look like, you know, it's a competition. So going into this battle, I could not pick because you never bet against Geechee, but yet Rum is probably top 3 most intricate like writers in battle rap. So how do you know, style clash. Geechee comes in first round and he was like, cause Rum Nitty used to work at Walmart, so he has a line like, you was watching the prices roll back and I was standing over my enemies watching their eyes roll back. Like crazy, yeah, crazy line. He was like, it's backwards how we went from drinking buds to me smoking rum, like fire. He said, I'll kill you, then rap about you on my third round. I thought that was fire. That was actually crazy. Nitty comes back with a flip, because the Suns, right? The Suns just beat the Lakers. So he does like a whole Ice Cube flip, like on Today Was a Good Day. Ice Cube says the Lakers beat the Supersonics, but Rum flips that whole scheme around. He did a Mortal Kombat scheme, like you'll see me duck first before the uppercut. I thought that was crazy. He had a Anita Baker bar that was like insane. He did a scheme like you'll need a bigger tree. When you see the battle, look out for the bigger tree bar. I'm just gonna say that. If you don't know, there was a fight outside. Geechee hid behind a tree. This was like years ago, and people keep bringing it up over and over again. And Rum took that flip and made it like into a racist bar saying, you're gonna need a bigger tree, like fire. Geechee got into a punch in the clock scheme with, you know, making fun of Rum Nitty because he had a job. But yeah, it was fire. So he did a bar about like suicide, kill yourself. Like he had to put Sue to the side when Rum Nitty booked. Sue served. So the thing with battle rap is it's a lot of, like you have to be consistently watching the battles and even watching the blogs and you know, watching social media, because a lot of things happen on and off the camera. So when they're referencing the instances, the situations, the older battles, if you're not privy to what's going on, you're not gonna know what they're rapping about, what they're referencing. So it would be pointless to watch it. So you gotta really like be involved in the culture, which I think is awesome, because you can't step into this culture and be like a poser. Like, you gotta know what's going on to appreciate it. So Nitty goes, glass break, like a hollow hit it, like when John allegedly threw hollow in the mirror. That was fire. I don't know, I think Nitty is dating Hustle, or used to date Hustle, Miss Hustle, and Geechee's homegirl was Coffee Brown. So Nitty says that Hustle wanted to split Brown to the white and pink like a Neapolitan. Insane. He says, I got the best angles, but the best angle is the one surveillance don't catch. That was crazy. I wind up on your back like a nutcracker, like, you know, the nutcracker during Christmas got the wind up joints on their back. Like, that was ridiculous. He says, I'll take a blade and carve a nut 300 ways. This is Black history. Like, he's a Nutty Block, Crip, Compton, and George Washington Carver created 300 ways to use a peanut. So I carve a nut 300 ways, like, genius. And then what happens? So, you know, nothing crazy happens in the third round. They just cooking, but, you know, Rum went outer space the first two rounds. He stopped really short in the third. Geechee clearly got the third. You could argue who won the first two, but what would be the point? Because they both like split in 75. Well, it's 150, so they both get 75. So like, we get into the last battle of the night, two things were announced. Two battles. Reed Dollaz versus Murda Mook was announced. I've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this since probably like realistically 04. It's 2021. That was announced. And then John the Don versus Sue Surf was announced. And I've been watching these interviews, and allegedly, URL has not announced this, but Daylight claims that him and K-Sean is also booked for Summer Madness. So just these three battles alone, I feel like is probably gonna be the best card of the year. I mean, we can save that for another day. So last battle of the night was Rock versus Chilla. I went into this battle Rock winning because Rock is a beast. He's consistent. He never lets you down. He doesn't choke. He doesn't stumble. And even when his opponent is known for being a great punchliner or a great schemer or a great performer or whatever, Rock stays Rock, and he goes like he finesses the opponent, except for the Daylight battle. But we're not gonna talk about that. So Chilla, I felt like it was the same thing. Like, you know, Chilla's gonna be pin heavy and scheming and trying to like show how he has the superior pin to Rock, and it did not go that way. Rock was cooking the whole round. Let's see what my notes say. Rock says, "You sweet as chocolate, as soon as you go and a Hershey kiss you," like talking about like his girl, Chilla's girl at a funeral. Like, it was crazy. Chilla did start his first round out with something crazy where he let the Caffeine fans vote how the battle would go. So he gave everyone two options, and you would pick. He grabbed his man's phone, looked at it, and then went that way with his round, which you know, that was dope. He said, now that I got Sean behind me, I'm back lit. He talked about how Chilla helped Surf write his rounds versus Rock. So I don't know what I said 90 seconds ago, but Chilla won the first round. Now that I'm looking at my notes. Rock did a 911 scheme. He did a pin flip. He was just using pin like GPS pin. He did a 911 flip that was just crazy. And the whole time he rapping, like I see this dude behind Chilla that's wearing like yellow with braids, and I'm like, why is Takeoff at this battle? And I'm like, oh, maybe Migos is there because Drake is there. But it was Quest with Cody. That's crazy. Yeah, so Rock's cooking. Chilla comes in and does a birthstone scheme. He says every 30 we should get a new rock, like a birthstone. So he's saying every time that Tay Rock gets 30 or 3-0'd, we should get a new rock, like a birthstone. And then he goes through like all the birthstones in a scheme that's like next level. But it was probably 30 to 45 seconds of a 3 to 5 minute round. So it wasn't enough for me to give him the round. Like, though that's genius, it wasn't enough for Rock. And then my notes literally say for third round, Rock cooking, like he was just cooking the whole round. And yeah, so that was the night. So Rock with a nice little gentleman's 30, because I mean Chilla was cooking, but it wasn't enough. So that was the night. Great night in battle rap, except for the Real Sick versus Danny Myers, which was absolute trash. But Real Sick came with 3 fire rounds, did his thing. But if that don't go in the vault, then if that comes out and Conceited versus Young Ill don't come out, I might cancel my URL subscription, because y'all just being ignorant at this point. So there you have it. That's my Nome 11 recap. They are having more battles tomorrow. I don't know what's left besides Loso and Jerry West, from what I remember. So yeah, peace.